welcome everyone to 284 News. My name is Javon Wilson.
I'm Kamal Haynes.
And I'm Ron Grant.
And we are so thrilled and happy to be coming to you live out of the beautiful British Virgin Islands. The content continues via our website, 284media.com. In today's news, just over the weekend, BVI residents caught on camera egging a police vehicle.
Mr. David Archer is the acting governor as president of the VI.
We also see a flesh-eating STD spreading in the United Kingdom.
Congratulations to the BVIEC as they celebrate 10 years of e-commerce. Of course, that is making sure that persons can pay their bills online.
And in Antigua and Barbuda, hotel workers forfeit jobs by failing to take that COVID-19 vaccine. We have all the details for these stories and so much more on today's edition of 284 News.
You value traditions.
Today,
You value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
Welcome everybody. It's Monday, October 25th, 2021. We're coming to you live and direct from the beautiful British Virgin Islands. I'm Ron Grant.
And my name is Javon Wilson, of course, here with your daily dose of 284 News, local, regional, as well as international content. Now, over the weekend, some very troubling news as a video surfaced. A number of unknown persons were caught on video hurling eggs at a police vehicle locally before running away, of course. We have a very short clip of that video, viewers. Let's watch.
Light them. Ready? Watch it, Zani.
No.
Very troubling video to watch. Our newsroom did reach out to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force for an official comment to just get a better understanding of what exactly happened or happened subsequently. But up to press time, no comment was provided. But however, there is a community-wide appeal on for persons to really identify who these perpetrators are, and of course to ensure that they face the repercussions for violating our law enforcement workers. These are men and women who commit their lives to service, safety, and security of our territory. And I think it is inexcusable. I truly hope that they are found and they are made an example out of, because disrespect is not something we should tolerate.
And we should not tolerate it on either aspects, both from the government perspective, particularly when it comes to law enforcement. I know the recent police commissioner, that is, has been really stringent on cause and effect, really wanting to bridge community aspects together. So we do employ the community to support in this endeavor. Moving on, Deputy Governor Mr. David D. Archer will act in the office of Governor from October 24th to November 1st. In, of course, of the absence of His Excellency Governor Mr. John J. Ranking, who will be out of the territory. Now, the Deputy Governor David Archer's appointment is in accordance, as we all know, with Section 37 of the Virgin Islands Constitution Order, which states, and I quote, "During any period when the office of the governor is vacant, the governor is absent from the Virgin Islands or for any other reason unable to perform his functioning duties in his or her office, the deputy governor shall, during Her Majesty's pleasure, act in office during the absence of the governor and shall perform the functions of the office accordingly."
All right, viewers, as we move on, we see officers of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force issuing 70 tickets, that's 70 tickets, and reporting 25 persons for charges on the island of Virgin Gorda as it continues its territory-wide campaign against persons that violate road traffic regulations. Now, viewers, in this operation that occurred just last Thursday, persons driving without a seatbelt topped the list of violations, with 44 ticketed. 11 persons were also ticketed for riding on or standing in the way of a truck. Now, viewers, 7 persons were ticketed for prohibitive tints, while 4 others were ticketed for failing to display a taxi license. 2 scooters were seized during the operation. Now, acting sergeant within the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force Policing Unit, Keyshawn Leslie, shared his concern that too many are still not adhering to the seatbelt and cellular phone regulations, which find persons who stand in the tray of a truck. He said, and I quote, "The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force may report of those that die or are seriously injured in traffic collisions. However, we rarely report on those who have to be flown off or for further treatment, or are in long-term hospitalization, or those who are permanently disabled, lose their income and quality of life. These cases go unreported, but difficult lives, none the same for too many after a very serious accident," he said, and of course. Now, viewers, the regulations under the Road Traffic Act are intended to reduce trauma to the body of persons driving or riding in vehicles in case there is a collision. The act is also intended to protect pedestrians against drivers whose unfocused attention while using a cellular can lead to their deaths. Those who breach the law are putting many others at risk. Now, viewers, the Virgin Gorda operation included officers from the Road Town Policing Unit, Armed Response Unit, and the Beat and Patrol Unit, as well as the Marine Unit, a combined effort. Of course, we continue to applaud the efforts of our members, the members of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, for the excellent work that they're doing, Ron.
Absolutely. Viewers, continuing on, Lawrence Whitley Construction was awarded the contract to repair the Emily E. Donop Community Center that's on Anegada, which serves as the primary emergency shelter for residents on the island. Pan American Health Organization President and Representative for Barbados and Eastern Caribbean countries, Dr. Yeraris Gabri, said, and I quote, "Works on this facility will focus mainly on the non-structural elements such as replacement or strengthening of the roofs, upgrade of the windows and doors, flooding, energy efficient light and water fixtures, and of course improvements within the functionality and ensuring that they are in full compliance with international shelter standards as well as smart standards." Now, attention viewers, will also be paid to improving of the buildings. Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Andrew Foy, said he was pleased that a resident contractor had won the bid that had demonstrated this rights to the level of capacity and now exists on the island to undertake what works should be met in regards to the standards of PAHO. Premier Foy said, and I quote, "I am pleased that Lawrence Wheatley Construction, a local contractor on the island of Anegada, has won this bid. The extensive capacity," he continued, "building initiatives that have been implemented over the past few years has really allowed for this company to put its bid forward and to meet the international procurement standards set by the organization such as PAHO, and to have the technical and administrative skills to undertake the works." Now, Premier Foy continued by saying he is grateful to PAHO for offering such opportunities for the local contractors to be a part of this important, very important, I might add, project, to offer them an opportunity to further enhance their skills and, of course, to support the economic activity within the Virgin Islands. He said, and I quote, Premier Foy, "That is, I am very pleased that so far 3 of the local contractors have won bids to undertake construction works at the emergency shelters throughout the territory. Quality Construction, who completed the works at the West End Community Center, Taurus Hill Associates Limited at the Valerie Thomas Community Center, and now Lawrence Wheatley Construction at the Emily O. Donohoop Community Center over in Anegada. We are well," he said, "on our way to ensuring that the knowledge and skills are available among our contractors to rebuild this territory in a safe, healthy, and green way to meet the SMART standards promoted, of course, by PAHO and the EU." Now, viewers, the designs for the facilities were also done by PAHO's technical experts located within the Virgin Islands, who partnered with regulators to ensure that the plans were approved throughout the local planning and building authorities, and that the cost estimated were within the current local rates. Now, this resilience building project, of course, will see refooting of the 4 emergency shelters and, of course, provisions of appliances and equipment for 10 that is being financed by the European Union through a formal agreement with PAHO. PAHO, of course, is providing technical oversight for the implementation of the project aimed at improving national emergency response and increasing community preparedness. The 4 community shelters to include the West End Community Center, the Valerie O. Thomas Community Center in Seacoast Bay, the Emil E. Donald Community Center on Anegada, and of course the Gertrude and Christiana Warner Community Center within Purcell Estate. Jovan, I am so honored and happy to see that our community shelters are finally giving the attention that they need. In addition to being given the attention that they need, they are being tasked and constructed with international standards. Of course, to have individuals from PAHO really share their insight and to give their approval, I think it's substantial. And while we're getting outside of the hurricane season, I think it would give us a better foot as we prepare for any natural disaster moving forward. And I'm also going to put a plug in here. We have a number of natural disasters that affect us on a regular basis, mostly hurricanes, of course, and flooding, which the territory has seen within the years. But community shelters are not only based for that reason. We have a number of community shelters within the territory that are non-functional. I must point out the 6th District Community Center.
Yes.
A lot of them have been turned into havens of total dysfunction. And I think from a government's perspective, we really need to put into perspective the importance of fostering such community awareness so that community centers do serve as a reputable purpose for fostering community activities for the elderly, for the youth after school activities. It cannot just be a goat or cow. It cannot. And I think it is totally unacceptable that we've gotten to this point. Of course, given the standards and the circumstances that have come out of Hurricanes Irma and Maria, but we do have to come to a better place.
Yes, and I'm happy you mentioned the fact that we are resilience building as well, because going forward, we have to ensure that we are sticking to stricter building codes to ensure that when in the event that something does happen on this scale or magnitude, that the damage isn't as significant, because, you know, rebuilding is very difficult for us as a territory. Viewers, now still ahead of the break, there is a new card machine at the East End Library, finally in their final stages of automating operations. And I think this is really exciting for us, especially as we transition in this COVID-19 era. So we have the details for that. And on the international scene as well, a new STD, a flesh-eating STD, is causing quite a wave in the United Kingdom. We have the details for that as well when 284 News returns.
Viewers, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with us. You're watching 284 News out of Tortola in the beautiful British Virgin Islands. Now, the East End Longlook Community Library is in its final stages, that is, of automating its operations and has received a new card machine. Minister for Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries and Agriculture, that is the Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, said the newly designed library card is, of course, welcoming a change, and that he was grateful to the donors. Honorable Wheatley, that is, said, and I quote, "The new library card is powerful. It is a key that opens doors to knowledge, building literacy, and empowers all communities. Knowledge is the key," he said, "to success in life, and this is a very timely presentation." Now, the minister said the card features has a barcode in which the patron's personal data is indebted and an image of the Virgin Islands, which helps to really promote the territory's history and heritage. Now, as the Minister of Education, he said, and I quote, "Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries and Agriculture, I encourage services provided by the public library. Remember today a reader, tomorrow a leader," Honorable Wheatley said. Chief Librarian Ms. Suzanne Greenaway said, and I quote, "The newly redesigned library cards are to be issued to customers, and they are available via PVC cards similar to a driver's license." She said the feature of local history images and a barcode specific to the island were in the library located, and she said, adding, the new library cards were made possible through a donation of a card printer and the accompaniment of software from Guana Fund, which supported the library's automation project. Guana Fund is a corporation support program from Guana Island, as we know, Guana Island Hotel and the Pirates Bite restaurant. Implementation in the proprietors, Dr. and Mrs. Henry Jiraki and family, to really support the VI community. Now, the family said it was pleased to offer a community learning grant in the amount of $4,029, which of course supported the purchase of the ID card printer in accordance with the mission to support education, youth community empowerment, a learning environment of culture, capacity building of nonprofit organizations, and of course volunteering. 2 students from the Youth Empowerment Program were the first to receive the newly designed cards at the East and Longlook Community Library recently, and now in recognition of many aspects that we've celebrated recently, which have been incorporated, such as Reading and Fun Week and Literacy Day. Persons are invited to visit the library to receive a new card by joining or upgrading their membership. The Public Library Service of the Virgin Islands presently has a library membership drive from going up to December 31st, which we're encouraging persons and particularly students to really participate in. The new cards are available at the East and Longlook Community Library. Jovan, I'm pleased to see that the East and Longlook Community districts are really receiving this library card. We know of library cards all across the region, all across the world, and we have, again, suffered a disadvantage since the hurricanes of Irma and Maria. We still don't have a central library within the capital of the British Virgin Islands, but on the outskirts within the Eastern Island, we're happy to see that this is moving to fruition.
Absolutely, especially since we just culminated Reading is Fun Week. Yes. Good timing. As we move on, viewers, the new Marine Estate Administration policy has now been updated and published. Now, the Marine Estate Administration policy updates the guidance used by the Ministry of Natural Resources, Labor and Immigration since 1996 for the issuance of licenses, permits, and leases for the use of the seabed. Now, viewers, the Minister for Natural Resources, Labor and Immigration, Honorable Vincent Whitley, said, and I quote, "The updating of this policy is crucial to achieving our goal of sustainable development in the territory. The balance between resource management and economic and ecological development should go hand in hand. This policy greatly aids us in that regard," end of quote. Now, viewers, the acting permanent secretary in the Ministry of Natural Resources, Labor and Immigration, Mr. Joseph Smith Abbott, said, and I quote, "The updated guidelines for the use of seabed for the moorings, jetties, and reclamation aims to ensure that we balance the genuine aspirations for economic development while we conserve the natural resource of our territory. The ministry will now be guided by the updated policy," end of quote. Now, viewers, this policy is founded on 4 main values, which are equity, balance, fairness, and transparency. The principle of equity aims to ensure that future generations can inherit a clean and healthy environment that is not harmful to their health. In Make a Decision, balance is sought to ensure that those natural resources are maintained and at an ecologically sustainable level while promoting justifiable economic and social development. Objectives of fairness aim to ensure that all stakeholders adhere to the principles and procedures as stated in the policy. And finally, transparency addresses all aspects of decisions making with clear and consistent guidelines and an ongoing administration of the marine estate. These guidelines should guide the public as well regarding how applications for the use of the seabed will be considered, and the Marine Estate Administration policy can now be accessed via the government's website using the following link, that is bvi.gov.vg/environment. The Ministry of Natural Resources, Labor and Immigration continues to administer the natural resources of the territory in a manner that ensures long-term sustainability. Now, if you're still ahead of the break, BVIEC celebrating 10 years of e-commerce, and we get into that international headline, flesh-eating STDs rocking the UK. We're getting into the details of that and so much more right after the break.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works. Brilliant Hands and Minds Tutoring Services. One-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
Viewers, welcome back to 284 News. Now we're following troubling headlines on the international scene. A once rare flesh-eating sexually transmitted disease that causes, quote, beefy red, end of quote, ulcers is spreading across the United Kingdom, according to a report released on Friday. Now, cases of donovanosis, which causes thick sores that damage genital tissue, have been steadily growing in the region since 2016, and cases are expected to rise, according to data and experts cited in Birmingham. They said, and I quote, figures suggest that a disease which was previously thought to be restricted in places including India, Brazil, and now New Guinea is becoming more common on these shores. That was Dr. Data of My Healthcare Clinic in London. Now, viewers, healthcare officials reported 30 cases of the STD in the UK in 2019, but more infections in the past 2 years could pose a public health risk, she warned. The STD is generally transmitted through unprotected sex, but in rare cases, it can be spread through non-sexual skin-on-skin contact and to newborn babies through their mothers. Symptoms include, and I quote, bulging and bumps, damaged skin, and loss of genital tissue color. This is according to Helpline.com. Now, viewers, the STD is more common in parts of India, in New Guinea, Central Australia, and the Caribbean, and Southern Africa, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. They're saying that long-term treatment includes antibiotics, and that is what is needed to cure this disease. Ron, I think as we examine what has been transpiring, I believe from 2019,
yes,
the onset of COVID-19, so much has happened, and I think at this point
continues to be unraveled.
It's really surprising to see what's happening on, I guess, across the globe.
Absolutely, but unfortunately, we do really wish persons to just be aware. These unfortunate diseases do come about, and we all of us, I think, across the region do systematically need to be careful in every sense. But we're closing out, viewers, on a local scene. And this month, of course, the British Virgin Islands Electricity Corporation has been celebrating 10 years, believe it or not, of providing e-commerce services to customers within the Virgin Islands and throughout the world. Now, within October of 2011, the BVIEC officially launched the option for customers to pay their bills online. BVIEC is pleased to hear has provided its valued customers with this service for 10 years in a safe and secure means of paying their bills from work, home, and anywhere within the world, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Now, the BVIEC Deputy General Manager, Ms. Simone Penn, said that the desire to offer convenience to customers was the catalyst for this initial launch. Ms. Penn stated, and I quote, "Providing our customers with a more convenient and efficient service was the vehicle for our decision to really shift to an e-commerce platform that would offer secure payments and the ability to manage their electricity consumption. As we celebrate 10 years of the e-commerce, we thank the community for their support, and we of course encourage you to continue calling on us to offer convenience at your fingertips." Now, customers are encouraged, of course, to register to pay online for the electricity bill by visiting bvielectricity.com/online-payment. BVIEC, they say they are committed to delivering an exceptional customer experience by fostering partnership and, of course, safety, developing the British Virgin Islands as it invites within its people, and the providing of sustainable, innovative, and energy solutions at an affordable cost. Jovan, I must admit, and I'm going to put it out here, the BVIEC, as we mentioned, have been celebrating 10 years of allowing persons to pay their bills online. I'm a customer, of course, of BVIEC, and I so value the service, and I paid. My question is, what's the holdup? What is the holdup with all? And BVIEC is a different body, of course, a statutory body, but why are we not incorporating this to inland
all
revenue,
the aspects, all
water
the
and
sectors.
sewage? What are we waiting on, guys?
Yes,
What are
yes.
we waiting
And
on?
so convenient, especially in a time where it is so critical that
Absolutely.
we live in a cashless environment where we're socially distant and all of that. And especially now around with limited working hours, which we've seen consistently over the last 2 years. It's been really difficult for persons to leave their jobs, get in line, persons traveling from the sister islands at times to take advantage of certain services. So it's about time we transition.
And I know we've had talks about it from a government perspective within the past recent years, but it is about time that we move move all government services to an online sustainable payment method. And I think if one statutory body is in a position to make it happen, we should really be looking at it, and we don't have to reinvent the wheel. But we're trying to make it as convenient as possible for Virgin Islanders, residents and friends. And I applaud the director as well as his management and team, Mr. Leroy Abraham, for really thinking ahead. In 10 years, kudos to you guys.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a long time. And again, even within the Immigration Labor Department,
Another great example.
Yes, they wanted to transition, and up until now, payments are still not able. You're not able to make payments online. You do the documentation and stuff, but persons are really calling for that transition to happen quick, because it really defeats the purpose of going online if you're not able to make that payment online. All right, viewers, I think that is all the time we have. But before we go, in Antigua and Barbuda, the Antigua and Barbuda Hotels and Tourism Association has confirmed that some of its workers have forfeited their jobs, even as almost 100% of them have been vaccinated against the virus. Now, viewers, the chairman acknowledged that letters had been sent out to those workers who had not been vaccinated, informing them that they would have forfeited their jobs. The affected workers have been given just about a 1-month grace period in which to comply with the vaccination mandate for the sector. And Jeffers said that he does not expect that there would be too great a disruption amongst the hotels, since over 90% of those workers have been vaccinated already. Ron, as we continue to examine the protocols across the region, we are seeing mandates. Some persons are still encouraging, but clearly we see countries very adamant about moving forward, especially those tourism-centric countries.
Indeed.
All right, viewers, that is all the time we have, but you can check out our website, 284media.com, for more content. We're also on Facebook and Instagram at 284media and 284BVI, respectively. My name is Javon Wilson.
And I'm Ron Grant. It is always a pleasure. We do hope to see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful Monday evening. Happy Monday to each and every one of you. Get excited for another week of amazing content, both locally, regionally, and internationally. Bye-bye.